I'm Hilda Richards, and I have been coming to the pottery class now for about close to 6 years. Well, I was born in Germany and of course during the Hitler time, there was no chance for young people, and eventually, as it turned out, for older neither. My sister had moved to San Francisco.
My favorite story that Hilda's told me was how she came to America, which I find to be really a fascinating story about how you traveled here. But Hilda had like
It took me 6 weeks to come here. I was 20 years old at the time. My father took me to Rotterdam in Holland. I took a ship there, and that ship went from there to England, and a friend of mine picked me up, and I stayed overnight. And the next morning, I stayed there overnight on the ship then. And in the morning, I didn't want to get up. And they came and went, "Why aren't you dressed?" And I said, "I'm seasick." I said, "How can you be seasick? We haven't even left yet." And then we had to stop in New York because the Dutch wanted some gold bars to go to New York because they knew there would be a war. And then I got a job, let's see. Oh yes, to iron ties, men's ties. So after a couple of days, the boss said to me, "If you don't do this any faster, we have to let you go." I did my German thoroughness, did it real well, but that was... So he was not satisfied, but he didn't let me go, and he asked me, "Did you ever use a power machine?" And I said, yes, which of course I never had. And so I sewed the linings, which was okay.
She worked on a sculpture of her late husband, a head of her late husband that came out phenomenally well. How soon after coming here did you meet Paul?
I met Paul in 1947, so that was 11 years later. He just came from Shanghai. We met in October. I saw him once after that. And in January we had a date, and he asked me to marry him. And I said, "I don't even know you. How can I marry you? I got to think about it." And we got married on April 18th of that same year.
Wow.
The reason that it was April 18th, there are 2 Jewish holidays, and there's only one date during those 2 Jewish holidays that you can get married.
Many years?
58 years. Be sure you talk things over when you have differences, because everything can really be discussed if you're willing to do it.